Mom, why won't you let me watch the
Dexperience.
It's time to wrap the dragon, Dexters.
Because we're talking about Dragon Ball Z Episode 1, the
new
threat.
Whoa,
So you keen-eared Dexters out there might notice that it's only two familiar voices today. Just
only
me and
two
Dennis.
of the core four.
Oliver and Harry are a bit busy recently, so they're just not going to be here for the next couple of episodes.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is I think we'll just try and do maybe some other episodes about some other things and, you know, keep it Pokemon, like try and get as much as we can for Pokemon. But yeah, it's a busy time. Like we're all doing Fringe shows or Christmas is coming up. People are going away for holidays and stuff. How are we doing? Well, first of all, before we get even further, I'm Dennis.
I'm Logan.
And we have a very special guest.
I'm April.
April.
Back for a second
go.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your first time?
I did enjoy my first time.
April guested with us for Tentacool and Tentacruel. The band was banned. No, that wasn't banned.
It was banned in some
temporarily. It was taken off the
temporarily banned episode of Pokemon
about nature and
eco-terrorism.
Yeah.
And April is a big fan of Dragon Ball Z.
You could call me a Dragon Ball expert if you wanted to.
She loves the balls.
I do love the balls.
April, you're like, how big of a Dragon Ball Z fan are you? Because I know that you have like a Vegeta poster in your room.
It's Vegeta and young Trunks, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm quite an avid Dragon Ball Z fan, Dennis. Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean we're like the prime, like we were at the prime age to get into Dragon Ball Z. It was like adult, like for a cartoon.
It's like Dragon Ball itself is just full of random nudity.
Yeah, yeah, the original season. Yeah.
And then the episode, the Dragon Ball Z intro is just the first shot you see of Bulma is just a full-on boob shot.
Really?
Did you not see that?
It's a very adult show.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball for the longest time. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. That was my only my first
that was
interaction.
that was the Dragon Ball Z
what we just
intro
watched.
Wait, was
Bulma's on the motorbike and it was her boobs,
Yeah.
and then as she rode her momotorbike it zoomed out.
Crazy. Well, you know, it's different because the dub for Dragon Ball Z has gone through like so many different dubs, like different companies and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like we watched it on what was it? Anime
Lab. It's Funimation dub.
Yeah. And so like I think what it was really funny when we watched it was the opening and the ending had like placeholder music, and the ending as well was like it was derpy, like it was like you were playing like some sort of indie game, and there was
the backing
it's
music.
like something that you make on a what's it called, GarageBand.
And it didn't like go with the visuals at all, and there are like subtitles of lyrics that weren't like being sang.
I'd heard so I had like a box set of Dragon Ball Z, and that was the intro music on it, but the exact same video was used for Chala Head Chala, and I can like the bit where Gohan's running on the dragon, I'm like, this is about filling your head with dreams. It's not about this random backing track music.
I grew up with Rock the Dragon.
Dragon. It was like
that's the one I grew up with.
There's some very great guitar.
You notice that a lot when TV shows they haven't figured out licensing rights for like DVD and stuff. They'll have to swap it out. Like I know Married with Children, they had to redo do you know Married with Children?
I know of Married with Children.
It's got the
Frank
granddad,
Sinatra,
the granddad from
Al Bundy.
Modern Family.
Yeah, which is quite funny that he's like playing this other like older dad type now.
Yeah.
And so like I think they had to do it for like other things because they have to pay the licensing checks because like they have to pay quite a bit out, and it's like per episode and it's a whole thing. But it is interesting because sometimes they're not willing to pay the licensing rights for that kind of thing. And so that was pretty cool. But first, maybe we should play a game.
Oh yeah, we got a good game today.
Yeah, we do have a great game. It wasn't like just decided
it was
10 minutes ago
planned.
or anything.
Yeah.
So in this game,
well, who's gonna do it? Dennis, you do it.
Okay, I'll do it. We'll do like a character from Dragon Ball Z, but in line with the fact that we do a lot of Pokemon podcasts, you'll do a Dragon Ball Z character as a Pokemon, and you have to guess which Pokemon it is.
So me and April will try guess.
So yeah, and it really relies on me being very good at
Are we
doing the
guessing
impressions.
which Dragon Ball character it is, or which Pokemon
The
character?
Dragon Ball,
Dragon Ball
because
character.
I'll be
Okay.
saying the name.
Okay,
that's-
my buzzer will be Kamehameha.
Okay.
My buzzer will be Finish Buster.
Nice,
Cool.
nice. Okay, I'll do an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Pikachu.
Finish Buster.
Yes. Yes, April.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
what was it, April?
Vegeta.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Okay.
He's testing Dennis's Dragon Ball.
Squirtle.
Finish Buster.
Squirtle. Yes.
Piccolo.
Yes.
Both the
Same voice actor.
Both the Chris Evans characters.
Lovely man.
To be
Lovely
okay. Oh my god! Why did I do this to myself? Okay. Chansey.
Finish Buster.
Yes.
What's his name?
Kid Gohan.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna guess Yamcha's Tien's friend, Chiaotzu.
Oh, Chiaotzu.
Uh,
I could do a good Chiaotzu one.
Oh, okay. One more, I guess.
Uh-huh.
You probably won't get this one either. Drunks.
Finish Buster.
Yes.
Master Popo.
Yeah.
oh my god.
So I was like, well, let's like combine the racist caricature. Although that said, like I wonder if like Jinx is like black. Well, she's black, and it's like very unfortunate. It is a caricature, but I was like, maybe they just one of the things was like, when you die in the snow, your skin goes black,
Yeah.
and like I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Huh.
And like I don't know, but yeah,
I
Mr.
it's
guess
still
Popo,
unfortunate.
Yamcha.
Popo has
so
no excuse.
He-
Jinx and
he-
Popo both went through the same changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did Popo get
Popo-
purpled?
He got
Yeah.
blued.
Oh, he got blue.
He blew
Oh.
himself.
Mm.
I blew myself.
But yeah, they used to look the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both went through the good changes.
Yeah.
In the abridged dub, there's a joke about Mr. Popo having a booty call with Jinx.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, they almost still look the same.
Okay.
Well, April wrecked.
Yeah, April did do well. Well, it makes sense because April's been like a huge fan.
Mm. I grew up. I used to wake up and watch Dragon Ball Z. I started at the Frieza saga.
Yeah, me too, actually.
And then
They would like replay it on.
Yeah, they just cycle it in.
Yeah.
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 I think they started with the Frieza, basically skipped androids and went straight to Cell when I
Really?
was watching it.
Really? That's. Oh, I
Sure you
guess
didn't
Android.
Miss, like half a saga.
Pardon?
You
Yeah,
didn't
I-
just miss it.
Maybe I did miss it. But
It depends because maybe they just. I don't know. The Android saga I was thinking is quite slower than maybe the ones before or after.
Hmm.
Maybe like they didn't buy those episodes or something.
Mm.
It was. I find it so funny that like Dragon Ball, actually a lot of anime is like prime time viewing in Japan, but then like it's just kind of like Saturday or like morning TV.
Yeah.
So we'll just like wake up and watch like I don't know Krillin getting murdered,
Yeah.
and then go to school.
on horns
Mine
repeatedly.
mine was 6:30 in the morning on a school day, so I was barely ever up. But I used to try get up to watch it.
Well, that's how you miss the android.
Because
Yeah, yeah, it is.
in Australia we had this show. It was like a morning show called Cheese TV, and it was these
Yeah, yeah.
two hosts. I don't know what they're doing now, but they were like so good. And then they replaced them. I think maybe the host got too old as well and wanted to do other stuff. They replaced them, and then with these two hosts, which weren't as good, but they would like record from like Warner Brothers, the theme park.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
That,
And it was
Nickelodeon
alright.
do that.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
used to.
It was fine. They just weren't as charismatic because, like, the Toasted TVs guys, they would
Yeah,
just like
Toast TV.
mess around and do funny
Oh.
skits and stuff. They
Right.
were just so chill.
I used to watch Dragon Ball Z. It was at 10 p.m. at night, and then Dragon Ball was immediately after at 10:30. And so I would always gauge it night by night if I felt like, if I was mentally prepared to watch Dragon Ball at 10:30.
Yeah, that's how they used to do it here. They used to show Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, because I feel like
Really?
people
Yeah.
wanted to
Oh my
watch.
gosh.
Because Z was
Dragon
way
Ball
better.
Z
Z's a
more-
million
is more
times
popular.
better.
It is
Yeah.
better. I don't because like they
They're
never.
wildly different.
I remember they tried to show Dragon Ball on morning TV, and
Yeah.
then like they just stopped because I think people didn't want to watch it.
I've
Or-
tried to watch Dragon Ball like 3 or 4 times and I couldn't get into
Yeah,
it.
they were like, or like when they do it, they'd be like, "This is where it all began."
Yeah.
It's like a totally different experience. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to like get people to link it to Dragon Ball Z, and actually,
Another joke I love on the abridged because they're just like they're very good at recognizing
oh, this
the
is
things.
this no, it's not Little Karibo because he did
He's in
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it, yeah.
Oh,
No,
but
he's in it,
he
yeah, yeah.
voices it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In Team 4-Star, yes.
Yeah.
Is that in like one of their Kai episodes, someone's like to Piccolo, "Aren't you a bad guy?" And he's like, "Nobody watched Dragon Ball."
That's so true.
I know.
It's like funny because like I was watching this, I was like, whoa, it's so weird because like if you're watching this like and like at the time that it first aired, you'd be like, oh my gosh, they all look so different now because Goku looks like an adult.
It's weird, right? Because they all...
What does he look like at the end of Dragon Ball?
He looks like Gohan, right?
Well,
like a kid still.
No, I think
no,
it's-
he
Did he
grows
grow
up
up?
in
Oh.
the last
Saga, isn't it?
last saga. He grows up and looks like he does at the beginning of Z.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But he's changed. He changes after the Saiyan saga, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the change until I went back
No.
to this episode. And I was like, "Whoa, he looks completely different."
Yeah, he
So
looks
this
like,
is like this is where it hits
he looks
me
really
because,
young.
Like in the fusion episodes, I'm like, how does this character look so much like Goku and like Vegeta? And then I start thinking like, but wait, like they look pretty similar anyway. Like how can I tell the difference? And then even though like in the new episodes they look completely different to what they looked like in the earlier ones, but you can still tell it's them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
I think it's the hair, right?
Yeah, I always wonder if I'm like, if I put my hands over that receding widow's peak,
Yeah.
will I still tell them apart?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Goku as well, when he's usually not having, like, his bright eyes, those bright, dreamy, childlike
Yeah,
eyes.
like they look very different when he's,
Yeah, but, like, when he's, like, frowning and stuff, he's still kind of, it's, like, more aesthetic.
So jumping into the episode with the lame intro, because me and April have been watching Super,
Yeah.
and before that we watched the abridged version of the Frieza and Android and Cell sagas, and we also watched just the normal
original Boo
saga, and all of those intros have heaps of Super Saiyan stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really weird to watch a Dragon Ball intro
Without any
before
Super Saiyans in it.
Super Saiyan became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
They
that's like
spent-
their whole thing now.
It's a whole 9 seasons. It's an entire series where there's no mention of Saiyans at all. But it's just like Goku has a tail and can turn into a friggin' monkey. And then suddenly Dragon Ball Z, first episode, bam, a Saiyan. Bam, his name's Kakarot.
Yeah. And, like, it was weird,
don't know
actually,
it's
like,
Goku.
seeing Goku
Till
not
then.
being able to fly.
Yeah.
He
as
can
well.
fly, can't he?
Well, I don't actually remember. He has to go on his Nimbus everywhere.
yeah, but I think he can.
I was trying to remember when he learns how to fly.
Yeah, so because I was like,
He can
because
fly.
Chi-Chi said she should take the Nimbus, but I'm pretty sure he can.
Yeah.
Because Raditz
I
can
can't
fly.
remember.
Yeah, but, like, maybe it's, like, he doesn't know that he can fly. It's like he can fly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny because that flying's one of those things that like they don't address until the Boo saga, where like Gohan's like, "All right, now like get
He's
your
trying to
energy
teach
into a
Videl.
ball and push it downwards." And it's like, is that really what happens?
Yeah.
But yeah, we basically jump in. We find out it's been 5 years since Dragon Ball, and Goku has
Yeah,
had.
that-
How old's
that-
Gohan then?
It's 5.
5, right?
Oh,
They,
so
well,
they
the
got-
moment
they got bit as the
They got
moment the camera,
bizarre.
the moment the Dragon Ball credits rolled, Gohan was conceived.
Chi-Chi had to spend like a few months in the hospital ward with a crushed pelvis.
Oh my god!
Do you want to know what's revealed in no, that would have been
Super.
Goten.
Oh
So you know
my
what's revealed in Super?
What?
Goku and Chi-Chi have never kissed.
What? No, that's
Yeah.
that's dumb. That is dumb.
Goku doesn't know what kissing
And
is.
Vegeta's like, but you have children.
That's so. That
He's
is
like, what is
okay.
kissing
Sounds really
gonna-
creepy.
That
like,
is.
I feel like
Let
I'm
me
just
show
like,
you how to kiss.
I feel like Chi-Chi is an intense dom.
Yeah, like Chi-Chi would have kissed Goku by that point.
Well, maybe she just wanted the babies.
You know, Goku
That-
is.
she probably just did want the baby.
He was probably still eating.
Yeah, but they would have eating while they did it. Oh my! Goku
That's how
is.
Chi-Chi would
Goku
do
is such a himbo. Would
Was
you?
that Goku
Goku's
such
a
a him?
himbo.
What's a himbo?
Himbo.
Yeah,
A
a
bimbo?
himbo. A himbo's like a male kind of ditzy guy that's usually quite like hot, like buff and stuff.
He is Sailor
So-
Moon. Oh, wait. She's not buff.
No, like Goku is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to make a comparison.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And that is so dumb. Like if Goku like not having kissed, that what?
It's just they're just like I think Super they try to kind of like hark on some of the whimsicalness of original Dragon Ball a bit.
Yeah.
They bring back a lot of random characters and like try to make it a bit
It's
whimsical
a
again.
bit like a nostalgia ploy, isn't it?
Yeah. 'cause-
Nostalgia junkies.
Yeah.
But the art style of Z is way better than Super.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that's why I
Instantly,
love.
this looks
Well, it's
way
like this
better.
was hand drawn,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like on
Yeah.
cells, whereas
It looks a lot
Super is
nicer.
digital.
Yeah, because Super, I think they had to like rush to get a lot of it out.
Yeah.
So like the movies look really good, and then I think the movies look good.
Yeah,
and
the
then parts
movies
of
do look
Super,
good.
They
like
should be, yeah.
some characters just look like so wacky
Yeah,
in the
because
background.
they use a thinner line for a lot of the line
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
So
and
that's why I love like the movie, the new Broly movie, is that they return to like the older, I'd say like I don't know, like Android Saga kind of drawing, maybe even late Frieza. That's like it's got thicker lines and their faces are a bit squarer, and it like they pair that with their new like rendering techniques and stuff, and it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks way better.
it'll be interesting. Oh, when we do Sailor Moon, which we're doing next after this, I'll show you like what they try to do for the remake, because that has
Ooh.
it's Crystal. It's quite divisive, actually.
Well, that's interesting.
Cool.
But yeah, when we were watching it, first two things, like there was a crop, because it originally aired in like 4:3, so they kind of zoomed in on a lot of those
Oh,
scenes.
that kind of crap.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the farmers.
Oh yeah.
Well, there were farmers.
was
Was the
said-
With
first
the
shot.
the
Yeah.
pink chicken emu birds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which do they show up in the anime anymore, or
There's more.
we see so many chicken
There are lots of
There's
flamingos?
random
more
animals
Misc wildlife in
and
Z,
prehistoric
but in
wildlife.
Super they kind of don't show anything like that.
Yeah, there might be a dinosaur or something.
I think it's quite interesting that like Dragon Ball Z and I think the first Dragon Ball, they start with like a capsule kind of coming into like the Earth's atmosphere and like having an alien in it. There's like kind of an interesting, cool like duality to that.
Yeah.
Does Goku? It's been a long time since I watched original Dragon Ball. Does
He
it start with
does.
him in a capsule?
And
in a
it's
pod, I
like
mean?
Yeah,
it's
his
like
grandpa finds
it's
it.
yeah,
Same
his
pod.
grandpa. It's like
Okay,
a quick
alright.
like 20-second little intro.
Yeah.
So it was quite, yeah, like it was interesting seeing it so clear and clean, and like I think it kind of and also zoomed in, which I'm like not really a fan of cropping stuff that's in already 4:3, because then you lose a lot of information, and also like what happens if like square resolutions come back into style again, and then like it's like, you know, now they have to crop the screen, or like because then they have to go back and restore the footage again and to get that original.
Almost like Disney got
yeah.
in heaps of trouble when they tried to deal with The Simpsons.
Yeah,
Heaps
and
of gags in
but
this.
there's so many like Saturday morning like Disney cartoons that they have gone and cropped. Like I saw Chip and Dale's was like cropped, and I was like, well, you don't need to do that. It's like already, it's not you don't like watch it for
The visuals.
Yeah. And like people watch them on iPads as well, and that's like a square.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not gonna. Anyway, don't get me started on that.
So
Silly.
Yeah,
the episode starts with Goku killing a tree.
killing a tree.
Chi-Chi's voice echoing through the valley, calling Gohan, and then Goku bringing the tree for firewood.
Yeah, they're living the cottagecore lifestyle.
Yeah, they are right next to. Actually, you never see this anymore, but in this, it looks like they're living right next to Grandpa Gohan's hut.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Is that?
It
That's
oh,
that
cool.
little hut off to the
It's
left.
meant to be quite close to
But
where he lived.
nowadays, when they draw it,
Yeah.
Gohan's hut.
That's
is-
in the
is-
that's
Why
in the
make it
games.
clear?
In
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, I think on the GBA games, Dragon Ball, like the second and first one, on the Game Boy Advance, there's like a little hut, and it's like Grandpa Gohan's
Yeah.
hut or
Yeah.
something.
On
which was
Kakarot,
cool.
it's like just up in the
PS4
mountain,
game,
quite
yeah.
close. Yeah, the PS4 game. Should clarify.
Yeah, but it was a fun fact. And then we cut to some the farmer of the pink chickens, who's like smoking, which like I
Yeah.
thought was like,
That
you know,
that was
Yeah, and he has a
surprising.
gun.
There's no
If-
smoking in Pokemon. I don't
They
think.
would have
Oh, yeah.
cut that in the original like English airing in the 90s or early 2000s. They would have edited that or cut it out. They probably did, and I guess they just kept it in because they were like, we have the original footage.
Yeah, he was smoking, and then like a War of the Worlds type pod lands, and he says like, "Ooh,
Always in a freaking farm, like
Yeah.
those alien
Well-
stories.
Well, you know what? I want to bring up the fact that like the visuals have been cleared up, because it really brings out the animation, especially in this first episode. It's quite interesting how the animation is so restrained, but to a very artistic.
Mm.
It doesn't feel like it's cheap. It feels like every thing that's animated is very intentional. Like the fact, like the cigarette falling out his mouth, and like none of him is really moving.
Yeah.
It was just done really well and like stylized to the point of like, that's the information that we want to give you, and that's all we kind of need to give you. Whereas like nowadays, like maybe you have like a hair bounce, boobs bounce.
Yeah, you would.
It's like a beautiful simplicity.
And like
I feel like Launch probably bounced around a lot.
Probably, yeah. I think
probably, yeah.
Probably.
If like she showed up in the anime now, probably. Right?
Oh no, I mean like
no,
even
she did, I think.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. And so
But Launch is an NZ.
Nope, R.I.P.
she's not.
Nah, they forgot about her.
Akira Toriyama forgot to draw her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is savage.
It's so sad.
But yeah,
To be fair, like sometimes like when mangaka, which is the name of people who draw manga, they sometimes their editors like, can you draw in like a sexy girl to get like people into the show? So it could have been like something like that as well.
Children's sexual awakening.
Yeah.
it's funny.
Speaking of sexual awakenings, Raditz is he hasn't shown up.
So
yet.
he,
Love just like
Yeah.
the first like,
the pod falls from the
20
sky.
seconds of him is just a crotch shot with his garter around his
I've
thick
learned
thigh.
that I'm a thigh guy now. I'm
Yeah.
like into it.
So the pod falls from the sky and Raditz can't. It was like 10 seconds long, right?
Yeah,
we
like-
should have
very
gone back
long.
and counted.
We should have.
It was
It's so
probably
long.
yeah.
Cause it's just like literally like his
Just
crotch
crotch.
and his thighs.
Those are good thighs.
And then-
they deserve those 10
And then
seconds.
he flies, and then
milked
it
it.
pans up from his feet past his crotch again to
Yeah.
his face.
I'm a fan.
He did not skip legged it.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
it's a good thing this laptop is on my lap right
Oh
now.
my God. And he's got like a garter belt on.
Yeah, he's
as
got
well.
a garter.
It's good. You know what? I realized Dragon Ball Z is very much like, especially this episode, is very much the Terminator 2 of the Dragon Ball universe. Like the first Terminator, it was kind of like a schlocky B-grade action movie, and then Terminator 2 made it like a big high-budget action movie. And
They're
like,
like completely different films.
the first
different.
Terminator
Oh,
and second
I'm talking
Terminator.
about Dragon Ball, but
But
yeah.
Dragon Ball as
Yeah.
well with Dragon Ball Z, they're completely different in terms of like, I don't know if do people
Style
die in
as well.
Dragon Ball?
Yeah, people die a lot.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, but you know, it loses effect after a while because
No, in
at-
Z they die, but not in normal.
oh, Krillin
In the
dies.
original Dragon
Krillin
Ball.
dies in the original one.
Is it just Krillin?
I think so. I don't,
Yeah.
and Piccolo, but
Yeah.
he's the bad guy.
And
the
he's
bad
like a
guys,
plant guy, right?
yeah, the bad guys die, but I don't know if any good guys
Yeah.
die.
But in Dragon Ball Z, like everyone's just dying left, right, and
People
center
die all
several
the time.
times.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
fact.
And it
Goku's
loses
Goku
effect.
dies in like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does. He dies
He-
like 3 times, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
originally it's like, oh, if you've been brought back by the Dragon Balls, you can't be brought back again.
Yeah.
And then they get brought back by a different dragon from Namek. And then after that, they're just like, oh,
It's like, oh, you get the
Come
regular
back.
customer discount.
Yeah, that is what it's like.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's speaking of which, I was very uncomfortable with the amount of times that Gohan was yelling "Daddy."
Yeah,
Was that
I
just
saw
me?
you laughing.
I was like,
after, like, the
"Daddy!"
fifth
I
time.
hear you were laughing about something.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is like my first note I actually wrote down was annoying Gohan.
He's
Because
so annoying.
Gohan
I thought
is-
he was cute.
Gohan's my favorite character,
Yeah.
probably in Z. But not during the Frieza saga. During Android and Boo, he's like really cool. And
I
Cell.
like him with his bowl cut.
The
Oh,
bowl
yeah,
cut.
he's-
When he's a kid,
He's a bit,
yeah.
he's a bit more, you know,
later
less
in Frieza,
annoying.
he's a bit
Yeah.
but like this beginning like Saiyan saga, all he does is cry.
God, he's annoying.
But it's quite cool though how like they start hinting toward his power
Yeah, well, in this episode,
early
they
on.
hinted at it. Like,
when he's chasing after the saber-toothed tiger. Because like, but like that's like a big thing because he was meant to be the next Goku, except they kind of cut that in Super.
Yeah.
what
well,
was it?
Yeah,
they cut that
he's-
after Cell, I think. 'cause
I-
then
Nah, Boo, he gets the ultimate ability. Like he's like the most powerful person.
I
do they
think
cut
it must have been that like Gohan was supposed to take over for Goku, but Goku was just so
he's too
popular,
popular.
Yeah, he's too popular.
that they couldn't. Like, they tried to
And
write
then they
him
made
off
him
or kill him
cooler.
off.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they tried to pass Z onto Gohan, they shouldn't have made Goku so cool.
Yeah, they just keep making Goku cooler.
And it's like, because you can tell, like, you're seeing Gohan grow up, like, from a kid to a teenager to a young adult to a father eventually.
Yeah, in Super,
In
he's a
this-
father, and but has stopped fighting, so he's
He's
like
an
Yeah.
academic.
he's like scrawny.
Oh,
it's
he's
really
gone the Gary Oak.
yeah.
I
It
mean,
was really
spoiler alert.
It was that is a spoiler.
Oh.
It was really sad
Yeah.
as a fan of Gohan to see
Yeah.
Gohan be lame.
Yeah, well, a lot of people thought that, but at the same, like a lot of.
But he got
Gohan
he got what he
fans-
wanted though. He got
Yeah,
his dream.
exactly. Like he
He got to
never
be an
wanted to
academic.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny because like the like human Saiyan hybrids have like such an intense latent power, and I theorize it's because it's like they have the Saiyan ability paired with like the human capacity for emotion, which
Yeah.
fuels it.
Because Saiyans,
Well, that-
Saiyans have the ability.
You know what that
to
brings
be
up me up
themselves.
to something is that like I was really surprised that Dragon Ball. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm just like I find it so cool. I guess that like Dragon Ball is like super popular with like black people,
Is it?
and well, it's like got a huge Puerto Rican like you know like all everywhere. Dragon Ball is popular everywhere, but it's like especially I would say among minorities or like people that are like not white, because it's like the idea that you know that just because you are like maybe like a minority in a room or something, you have these latent powers, or it's like relatable in that way of like because Goku is different, he's culturally different, and that like he he has different beliefs to everyone, or he's always but he's still constantly blowing away, he's constantly delivering
Yeah.
and like just like being himself, which I think is a message that a lot of minorities do feel like, you know, is really cool, because sometimes it's like you do feel like, oh, my culture is a bit embarrassing. Like if you bring this, especially as a kid, if you bring like stinky fish to a school that your parents packed you, or it's like something like that. And so it's just like, I don't know. It's like nice that people were able to get that empowering message from
That's a cool
Dragon
takeaway.
That is a
Ball.
really cool thing to think about.
Yeah, especially like I would say Dragon Ball doesn't really have like black representation, but I mean the
Yeah.
Nameks have kind of are a bit coded in to be like a different
I
race.
thought
So
as
I was
well.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Is that
not
like
the same,
I think
but
no, it's not. But like they are. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Their customs are very different to Earth, in that like you know they don't eat, and they're very peaceful.
But Piccolo is like discriminated against.
yeah.
He hides himself in public and stuff.
Mm.
Originally.
He always
What?
just hangs out like every time you see him. Like the first time you
What?
see
But
him,
they're like
he's just
animals
hanging
walking
out
around.
in like a desert
They get rid of that in
wasteland.
Super.
Yeah, what?
And they get there's no animal people in Super.
What?
The
I've been
king of
looking
the
at-
world is a dog.
But
Did you know that?
in
Yeah, yeah.
Kakarot,
He's a
the
blue
video
dog.
in the video game, it's just
explained.
explained. It's like, oh, we're having. It was a craze 20 years ago to have these pods that made you an animal, and now we're stuck having them. Please find us a cure. And
What?
Bulma creates a cure for it.
Everybody's
What?
talking about bug
Yeah,
snacks.
as it happens in the
Everyone's
video
like a furry in
yeah,
Dragon Ball.
there was a furry craze like 10, 20 years
Oh my
ago, apparently.
gosh.
Oh
yeah.
no!
Yeah,
Where did they say that?
It's a side quest in Kakarot. You might not
Is
have done
it?
it yet.
No, I
Why-
think I've done everything except for the big old bad guys. The time.
Yeah,
people.
you might,
I don't know why would they
Just
write that
two
out?
men living in a cave.
Is that like maybe it was just like too hard to like animate
I remember
animal
that now.
people
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, and people would just been like, "Why are they animals?" Because like that was a very like early anime.
But
type
then you've
thing.
got like animals that talk, like that blue thing that talks on like that's dead. I think
Pilaf?
it's got like it's a cat, right? It's a talking cat.
Chouts. Sorry, not Chaozu. Puar.
I think so.
Not
yeah.
dead.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
It's Yamcha's
Yamcha's
friend.
pal.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yamcha's friend, and it was like, well, what is that?
Lord knows what Chaozu is.
Why? There's so much weird. But, well, I think as well we're skipping over how the original Dragon Ball was based off of Journey to the West.
Yes, I'm glad you know that.
Which, well, I grew up like watching like the Chinese live action kind of dramatizations of it, so
yes.
I know that story through that, and also Dragon Ball was like, oh, cool.
There's
Oh, that's good.
a Monkey King, right?
Yeah, Monkey King story, which is used quite a bit. Like
Uzuru.
there's a Monkey King character in Naruto. There's a Monkey King character in a bunch of anime, like in League of Legends is Wukong, which is the name of
The Jungle Book?
The character. Is it in Jungle Book?
There's a Monkey King.
Oh,
I'm the
maybe,
king
yeah.
of the swingers. Oh.
Yeah, that guy.
King
He's a
Louis.
Monkey King.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know if it's the same.
Journey to the West,
Something
and
about that.
it's well, I think it's interesting how like it kind of started there, and then it kind of just like veered so differently into sci-fi and
Yeah,
like
the
going into
sci-fi,
space
isn't it?
and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was I gonna say about the monkeys?
monkeys. Well, they turn into giant monkeys, although we don't
The
see it
great
in this
apes. Yeah.
one. Which
We see it in the first few episodes of Super though. Sorry,
Yeah,
and of
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball. No, Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
He
I
turns
found
to
it-
monkey. That's
yeah.
how he
And
kills.
then he
That's how he
cuts-
kills Grandpa
His
Gohan.
grandpa.
He kills
Did you not know
So
that?
sad.
I
At-
vaguely
at
remember.
the
that.
And then
very
he thinks his
beginning-
Dragon Ball, the 4-star ball, he thinks it's Grandpa Gohan.
Oh.
And you know, he
Yeah.
does not have any kind of like whenever he sees the 4-star ball again, he just doesn't even acknowledge
Yeah,
that
'cause
he like grew up with it for like
the whole
13
thing
years.
of original Dragon Ball is he wakes up one night and Gohan's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
And all that's left is the 4-star Dragon Ball that was his, and he thinks his grandpa has gone into there.
oh.
But really, one full moon, because his grandpa never let him out on a full moon because he knew he'd turn into a monkey
Yeah.
because he'd seen it once. So, but one time Gohan got out and then Goku got out and turned into a monkey and killed his grandpa.
Oh, that's so
sad,
sad.
right?
Yeah.
That is sad. And now that he's just like put it on Gohan's hat,
Yeah.
and then he loses
makes him a
it.
target.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
bad
I was like,
guys.
why would you put it on like your son's head?
powerful
Like
orb.
I also just
yeah.
want to know how it is stuck on there.
it's probably
Magic.
like glue or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glue this dragon.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
Gohan's like lost in the woods and sees a
Lost in
saber-toothed
the
tiger
woods.
Yeah. Some
and
like,
decides to play dead.
well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do if you like come against a certain species of bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
And
thought you meant to
snakes,
make yourself
right?
as
just
big
don't
as you
move.
can.
No, that's a lion.
Uh,
That is a lion.
well, that's good to know because
In case you
That
ever
his
come
nose
across
is bear.
a bear or a lion.
otherwise I
do
would
love
have.
bear.
Otherwise I would have died.
Yeah. Well, actually, it depends on the bear because sometimes the bear will just maul you anyway.
Yeah.
If it's
I've
hungry
had
as well.
nightmares of bears mauling me.
Oh my
That's-
God,
Oh my god!
that's
Bears are
terrifying.
terrifying. Like,
Logan loves bears.
do you know the guy that was like, he's like, I'm a bear in a man's body. I live with the bears.
Did he
and then
die?
he got footage of him and his girlfriend getting mauled to death. It was terrifying.
Oh my god!
It was like you
That's
could hear
messed
their
up.
screams on the thing.
Oh my god!
I haven't listened to it, but it's just like, don't sleep with bears.
Oh my god!
Tarzan
Is
gone
the
wrong?
lesson of that story?
Yeah. So you go
Or
out.
keep them fed.
Gohan
Yeah.
plays dead,
That was a
loses
hungry
his
bear.
hat, and then gets angry. And this is the first time we see Kid Gohan get angry in the series, and starts chasing the tiger. And then he does
What
like
is whinging?
a Scooby Doo fall
Yeah.
off a waterfall. And then I heard Dana's laugh. I think he plays dead when he's falling
He
down.
falls asleep. It's like
No, I don't think he
thought
falls.
was
No,
falling
I
asleep.
think he's playing. Because he's about to fall down to the water. I think he's playing dead.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like and then he's like,
I thought he
I
was
thought
just
he was
like,
like in such
panicking. Yeah,
in
and, like,
such
too much to
shock
deal with.
that he
I'll
just
sleep.
like fainted.
Yeah.
Or something.
I took it as he was like just following the same lesson with the
Yeah.
saber-tooth tiger.
Speaking of which, whose bright idea was it to let like this like 5-year-old child wander around the woods on their own with
Do you know how many
saber-toothed
times I
tigers
wrote
running
down
around?
Goku Parent of the Year award?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely know this was like Goku's idea.
That is
Although I was like, why does Chi-Chi not mention anything?
Goku lived in the woods by like running around when he was like 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
in that same woods as well.
If like
Yeah.
if Gohan wasn't part like Saiyan, he'd probably be dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
what
go-
was I was gonna say about the tails and the great apes.
Yeah.
I was like, it must have been like a decision, maybe like a conversation for Gohan to keep his tail.
Oh yeah, because he does have his tail.
It's like circumcision.
Yeah. Well. Well, I
Except
guess
have you
like.
seen- they
Because
just
Goku
literally
doesn't. Because Goku just thinks his fell off.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
They
doesn't-
They literally just like, and then at one point, it might have been in one of like non-canon movies. I can't remember. But someone like steps on Gohan's back and his tail just grows back
What?
again.
Yeah,
like, nope.
Oh.
But
I didn't
yeah,
know about that. That
Because
is, like,
Goku thinks
yeah.
it fell off because they cut it off, but he thinks it fell off. I think
Yeah.
that's what they tell him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess the thing is like Goku. Maybe Goku could like fight against like a Ozai or like a big ape thing.
Mm.
Uzaru.
Yeah. He could probably like quell it or like calm it down.
Yeah,
Like-
They all go like the
yeah.
only.
As a kid one.
Yeah. Could you imagine
Vegeta's
living
kind
off?
of in control of his, but I don't
Yeah.
think Gohan and Goku weren't ever in control of their one.
Oh, I wonder because
Like, they
like
just blank
what
out.
is it like on Planet Saiyan? What are they
Planet
just like
Vegeta.
Planet Vegeta? Are they just like
Vegeta.
are they just like
Apes
Uzarus
left, right,
walking
and
around?
center.
Probably.
there's,
It's probably
something-
like a training for kids, like going into that form, and because they can create.
I think you mean were.
They have.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest
all
in
the
peace,
Saiyans.
Planet
RIP, Planet Vegeta.
Yeah, but all of those, because like they can create their own moons as well.
Can they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's important to note that in like 4 episodes' time, the moon is destroyed. In Dragon Ball.
Right.
And it never has
It
any
never-
consequences.
and it never comes back.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I
just
vaguely
coming-
remember that.
I can't remember.
Who
Maybe it's
destroys the
just-
moon? Piccolo?
No, Goku, I think. Oh no, maybe it is
No,
Piccolo.
is it not like Jeets so that Gohan can't do it again? Or is it
No, I feel like it is
because
Piccolo.
I think Piccolo like grabs his face and like shoves Gohan's face towards it to
That's
make
a
him
dream.
wow to make him turn into an ape.
Yeah, someone
Someone
destroys
does.
the moon, and then Vegeta has to make his own moon.
Yeah. You know,
Make your
gotta
own
love
moon
the
and-
hustle. Make
Yeah.
your own hustle.
BYO moon.
Make your own moon, everyone.
So yeah,
DIY
Gohan's
moon.
traveling through the water, and Goku's
What-
saving
Oh,
him.
can I just say that like there was like the episode what is it, like bookend thing, the clip, it like cuts it on a literal cliffhanger where like he's like
yeah.
falling and then like it starts with him
Those
hanging
little
off the
Yeah,
cliff.
fun,
those cliffhanger, yeah.
Like little
Those-
snippets, like quite fun.
They do that.
They really lost their charm though, because normally it's like do 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 do.
Yeah, that is the noise.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that
Oh.
noise.
Yeah, it's
Really?
the chala head chala sound.
Oh, they probably couldn't get the
was-
licensing
it
for
was-
That's so
that.
strange.
empty.
I think it would
Yeah.
like be
You know what? I think they
It'd
can
be a package
license like the
deal.
episode, but then maybe they can just like have the option of licensing it with the theme song or without.
yeah. Because
So,
I mean I've seen plenty versions where it is just chala head chala or Rock
Yeah.
the Dragon, but then there's just random like my box set had that random
well,
intro.
the thing is, like, as well, like, to be honest, if you're watching Dragon Ball and you're paying for it, you probably wouldn't be like, oh, and in English, you wouldn't be like, oh, you wouldn't be like, it needs to be head chala. To be fair, like, I think you'd be more forgiving because, like, you're already like, well, it's already in English, it's already slightly compromised in terms of artistic
yeah, I
vision.
don't think because like a lot, well, maybe a lot. Some like of the newer theme songs they have like an English translation as well, but Chala Head Chala never did. I'm pretty
Well,
sure
didn't-
until the movie.
Didn't Vic Morgana? He sang.
No, he did the Kai one.
Yeah, which
Yep.
is like kind of,
Dragon Soul.
which is kind of like
not
awkward
very
now
good, is
because
it?
he's
I
like,
like it.
Oh,
Oh no, Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku.
Ah, he
does
did
it
a really
once.
bad one.
and it was not great.
Yeah.
That's
that
not
was a
great.
But
yeah.
Vic Mignogna or whatever his name is,
Mignogna?
Broly's voice,
Mignogna?
right?
he's like super problematic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is the whole
Yeah,
thing about
it- there's a lot of-
yeah.
Yeah,
did a
I've
lot
heard
of-
mixed stories, as you
Yeah.
often do with those cases.
with like fans and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, look it up if you're interested.
Yeah, it's so strange though because his voice is normally like he voices
Broly.
what's his name? Well, yeah, no, Broly,
Yeah.
but he voices Ed from Full Metal
Ed, Ed, and
Alchemist.
Eddie.
Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Duh.
no, Full
Oh
Metal
my god, we
Alchemist.
should do an episode on that one. day.
Ed-
On Full Metal
Ed,
Alchemist
Ed,
or Ed, and
Ed,
Eddie,
Ed,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's that
That
guy. He's got like a
show, there's
really
edges in
youthful,
everything.
like
Yeah.
young boy voice.
Yeah.
And then he's Kakarot. Like
Yeah.
it comes out of nowhere.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess Broly has his quiet voice as well.
Yeah. I think like a lot of the Saiyans, they just do like a Vegeta impression. They look Kakarot.
Is Raditz
No.
Goku's voice?
Oh, Goku's voice? No, I don't think so.
No.
I thought you were gonna ask if it was Chris.
I
the
thought
Bat.
Raditz was Vegeta when
Sometimes-
there was like
oh.
a thumbnail before the episode. And I was like, oh, Vegeta's in this.
Oh, that
wondering if you were
thumbnail
gonna
was
think that.
that thumbnail was Vegeta.
Was it? No, I'm pretty sure it was
No,
Raditz.
It was Raditz.
Why would they show like a character not in the episode?
It was Raditz.
'Cause it
I
was
just
the-
remember looking at it and being
'cause-
like, I wonder if Dennis knows.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, they're all named after vegetables, which
Yes.
is fun.
They're
Yeah,
all
it's
like
funny.
themed. So like Bulma is bloomers. It's Buruma. Bloomers.
And Chi-Chi's like panties, right?
Chi-Chi is milk.
Mm.
Or
Okay.
no, wait, she's called milk and something else. Chi-Chi means like father or something in Japanese.
Mm. And
Boobies?
Boobies?
because Trunks as well.
Yeah,
Trunks.
so Bulma's family is the Briefs family.
Mhm.
So there's Trunks, Bulma, their kid's called Bra basically, and then her mom's called Panchi, like panties.
Yeah.
And then the Saiyans are all, there's Broly, Kakarot, Vegeta, and his brother Table, Vegetable, and then
Yeah. Isn't it
Raditz.
Gohan? What is Gohan?
Gohan is rice,
Rice. Oh.
Mm.
and Goten means like sky or something.
what a boring name to name your child.
And
Hello,
rice.
rice.
Yeah.
And then
Poor
Yeah.
kid.
and then later on there's like Kale and Cabba.
Kale.
Oh yeah, and Super.
Kale.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Gentrification.
Yeah.
And then so in this episode, basically the only other thing really happens is Raditz senses a power level. Another thing that kind of disappears, like
Well-
halfway through Z. is power
Well, you get
levels.
that meme, right? It's over 9,000.
That's from a different dub.
Yes.
Not
from the-
fun of me.
But
Ocean
they
dub, I
must have
believe.
kept it, right?
No, so-
Chris Sabat doesn't say it. though.
Yeah, so
Not-
so Chris is just
iconic.
like it's over 9,000. Like it's just how it is. And
Oh.
then so when
I think it's a Canadian dub.
Yeah.
with-
I
Yeah,
don't
when I
like it when
spoke
they
to-
redo these dubs and then
Yeah.
they take out like there's like
Well, I don't think was that Canadian dub first.
No, I think the Canadian dub was after.
Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
after.
They were it's confusing because when we watched in the morning, sometimes it would be like mid dub switch. So then one
Yeah,
morning
it
I'd
was
wake
all
up
over the place.
and the voices were
Really?
different, or like they'd
Yeah.
go back and replay it from the start, but with a different like dubbing.
Oh, weird.
Company,
I wonder
I'd be
how
like-
that happened.
But yeah, apparently Chris Sabat
Yeah.
always gets asked to say.
Yeah, he was saying
Yeah.
like he always gets asked, so now he just doesn't anyway.
Yeah,
But he
Yeah.
always
It's really
gives
nice that
he
he
always
was
gives
like-
the guy like
Credit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's so like it's I always hate it when there's stuff that's like iconic about something and then they try and change it up when it's already become like so well known in
Yeah.
the like pop cultural atmosphere.
Hmm.
It's like when trying to change like Batman's I don't know what would you change about Batman? I don't know. You give
His
him like a
voice.
different butler or something just because you want to change things up.
Hmm.
They change a lot of
Oh.
backstories and not Dragon Ball, but like a lot of backstories get changed in things to try and make them more like poetic.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Maleficent.
a lot of it is like also to kind of stay, be more
Relevant.
true to the original source material.
Hmm.
But there's like, I don't know, it's like you're never gonna have the same. It's never gonna be the exact same because like there's a whole like layer of cultural understanding with certain types of media and stuff. Like looking back into it, like the Raditz like power level thing it was quite interesting to me because there's like going back into it, like there's a certain sense. It reminded me of how in Japan there's a certain sense of hierarchy in like you got senpai and juniors and seniors and age really matters and stuff. And like I remember especially in Asian cultures that is quite a big thing. I know someone that was like an overseas person. I don't know if I heard this on a podcast or a friend told me or what, but they were just saying how like they would just say that they were the same age as the person, like because they were in overseas
Oh yeah.
like on an overseas OE. So they'd be like, "Oh, how old are you?" "Oh, I'm the same age." And because it was like a black guy, it was like black don't crack, right? So he could just get away with it and he could pass for like being older or younger. And so like, and there were cases
Can't
where like
relate.
his friend, "You're young, you look young."
I look 12.
Oh yeah.
I'm 27.
Well, it's like it's fine. It's like, and then like if there were times when he would like bump into two friends with different like understandings of his age, and he'd talk to them, and they'd be like, "Wait, what? You can't talk to him that way. He's older than you."
Oh my god!
And
that's
then it was
funny.
like, and then like he got in trouble, and his work was like, "You can't tell people you know that you're not your age." And it's
That's a
like
good one.
they reminded me of this power level thing because especially Dragon Ball Z as a whole, there's never a sense of like the underdog winning. Well, there is that, but it's like you have to get your power level up to the level to beat the bad guy. Otherwise, you can't beat them. There's no sense of that, like, using your wits about you or like kind of.
In the first Vegeta fight, there is.
Oh, really?
They
Yeah.
cut off his tail in the middle of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yajirobe.
Yeah.
MVP.
Goku goes Kaioken,
Yeah.
but which is
Oh,
raising
yeah.
his power. But then they
Multiplying.
actually use like
Yeah.
wits to kill him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I think that it does move away from that kind
Yeah,
of
definitely.
tactical.
It's also like it shows a bit how like the Saiyans are being like because like this Goku's more powerful because he doesn't rely on that kind of thing.
Mm.
Like the Saiyans are really
He's a
like
bit more
relying on like
happy-go-lucky.
oh you're only this power I'm this power
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm stronger. Whereas Goku never sees it that way. He always sees it as in a like a ways to improve himself through fighting others.
Mm,
You know what I wonder about? So that over 9,000 thing.
yeah.
His his power level's only 6 or something, and Vegeta's like, "You're wearing it upside down. It's over 9,000." And I'm like, "How? How are you wearing that upside down?
Yes, he's
Is
sick.
it on the
Oh,
wrong
'cause it was,
eye?
yeah.
Because it's like this.
April has one of those.
I have one.
You have a scouter?
Yeah,
Oh, you should have
April
It's
worn
like a
it.
head thing.
Yeah.
I should have worn it.
Yeah.
It's like this, and I'm like, how do you wear it upside down?
Maybe
Unless it's over here.
Maybe sometimes if you put like Katurl out and like up, it like flips the monitor. So maybe it's,
Caturl.
so like Vegeta's like really out there using Google Glass trying to
Oh my
like
God.
figure out people's power levels.
I need
it's like-
someone who called
yeah.
Caturl curl.
Curl,
Mm.
but there's a T in there.
Yeah, so
Curl alt delete.
Yeah.
Raditz runs into Piccolo, who is way darker green, right, than normal.
I don't know.
I think he
I always
just
thought
has
he
less
was that green.
highlighting.
Yeah, 'cause I prefer how he looks in this one.
So yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
probably
it looks a
well,
bit more like
they probably did like put a lot of effort into getting this right. So maybe it was just like
Speaking of
maybe it's
buff,
tan.
His
Goku looks
shading
so
looks good.
squishy for how strong he is.
Yeah, well, he looks like so young in this as well. Like
yeah, he is like 23.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like he doesn't have that like super pointy features that he would get later on. He's like still kind of like wide-eyed and kind of like baby face.
Still quite kiddish.
He's got a same like kid face but on an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
he says he'll give him a double sundae.
yeah,
Double
Raditz
sundae.
said he's going to give Piccolo a double sundae,
Which-
and then he
but before he
senses
can,
he senses another power level.
which is probably Goku, right?
Goku, or it's
Or
Gohan,
Gohan.
freaking out.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, yeah.
Gohan.
Because it's I don't know if it's a cutaway because Goku saves Gohan as he's falling down a waterfall, but Gohan somehow leaps
Yeah.
really high up.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's what Raditz detects.
Oh,
Like a
that would
spike
be
in
cool.
energy?
You have to keep watching, I guess.
Yeah,
to figure
or
out.
if he detects Goku's energy.
Yeah.
When I rewatch, I normally start at like further into the Saiyan saga.
Oh yeah. It's like a
Seems
slow
like-
kind of build, I think.
It
It's
is,
more
yeah.
interesting when Vegeta and
Yeah.
what's his name?
Nappa.
Nappa.
Damn it, Nappa.
When Nappa, yeah, Nappa's quite funny.
I did like enjoy kind of the sense of building tension. Like it was interesting because like you kind of want to see what all the characters are at, so you just kind of see what Gohan and Goku are at,
Yeah.
and Chi-Chi.
Well, you only meet Gohan now,
yeah, it's like
and like
Yeah.
also you don't know who Kakarot is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
If you're
You're
watching
sitting
this for
there
the
being
first
like,
time,
what's Kakarot?
yeah, you'd be like, who the hell is Kakarot, and why
Oh,
does
yeah.
this guy who looks like Goku
This
say?
friggin'
his
oh,
name?
so
Alien.
Kakarot isn't mentioned in Dragon Ball?
Nah.
Oh,
They don't
There's
know.
because then people
nothing
might
to do with Saiyans. and
people
Yeah.
could think that Gohan was Kakarot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Watching
like
this.
the first glimpse you get of it is that like silhouette of Goku being put in that Saiyan pod, but it's not like his face or anything. It's just like a shadow
Yeah.
in that clip.
yeah, because Raditz is Goku's brother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've
And
missed.
their
I
father
haven't
is called
seen.
Bardock.
I haven't seen Dragon Ball in ages, so it was cool watching this.
Yeah,
again.
Raditz, as his brother, and then Goku was sent to Earth to
Radish
kill them
and
all.
carrot.
Yeah,
Goku was sent to eliminate the Earthlings.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
like a reverse
for
Superman.
Frieza.
And then because he bumped his head, he
forgot.
like wasn't
Yeah.
so angry.
But
Yeah.
was that like added for this? Like it wasn't in the original Dragon Ball that he like suffered a head injury and had
No,
amnesia.
he did.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was acknowledged that he bumped his head. Right? I think
I
so.
don't know. He fell from the sky though, so I think they did have it planned.
I think didn't
I don't
Gohan
know.
drop him?
If
I think
it-
he was like really angry when Gohan
Yeah.
finds him and then he drops him.
It'd be interesting to see to know if Goku was always a Saiyan from the beginning of Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, if he was in
Or-
that pod.
If there's like a point where you can tell that they kind of start veering in that
Hmm.
direction.
Well, it's like it's very much like a Superman story of like
Yeah, it's exactly like
it's Superman gets sent there, so you think, oh, he's like a refugee, but instead it's the switch is he's supposed to kill everyone on the planet. Which also, why would you spend like a
But-
baby to kill everyone on the
but-
planet?
Because the babies are strong enough
oh,
compared
yeah.
to the humans.
But also, it's like he ends up being a Superman type character
Yeah.
because almost his whole race is destroyed by Frieza. So he's kind of both.
There was like,
He's
did
a
you
lower
ever?
class warrior. My
Did you
apologies.
did you ever on the playground have those conversations like, would Superman or Goku win in a fight?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Did
Yeah,
you? What did
I
you
did,
think?
Yeah. Well, I was just like,
Well, Superman would beat Goku, but then but Superman wouldn't kill Goku, which means Goku would be able to get stronger because of
yeah.
his Saiyan
Did
cells.
you know that?
What?
Is it like every time a Saiyan gets beaten to like near death and then gets like and then
Is this like
recovers,
a midi-chlorians from like
No, it's
Star
like
Wars?
it's
No,
right.
it's
It's
a-
right from like
Yeah.
Vegeta says it the first time he meets
What?
Goku.
when they get beaten to like near death and then recover, their power increases like exponentially.
What?
Yeah,
know.
that's some like that is like early canon. That's why Goku's so
that
powerful.
seems unfair.
Okay.
So but they can die. Like you can kill them before they get to that point.
Yeah.
But if you knock them down, they get back up again. Ain't nothing gonna
How
keep
poetic.
them down.
If you knock me over, I will.
Oh my
But yeah,
God.
that's why like Superman would beat him, but then Goku would eventually probably beat Superman.
Well, then, like, what if they
I
like
just said Goku.
they went up to like outer space or something, and then like,
Well, Superman would win because Goku can't breathe in space.
Yeah, you can.
can
Yeah.
oh yeah, I think he
In
can.
his
Yeah.
God form.
No, Goku's always fine in space.
Yeah.
Not in space, because in Super, when they first start going out there, he starts dying.
Does it?
Yeah, because
Isn't he just?
because
I'm pretty sure he goes there and like, cause.
No, he's never in space. He's always in an atmosphere of some kind.
Yeah.
Superman can
What
breathe in
about
space.
Boo? Doesn't he go out there and boo?
No,
Does he not?
no. But yeah, Superman's fine in space, so he'd win.
So yeah, this is Dragon Ball Z, the first episode actually.
Yeah.
The new threat.
Yeah, not much. It's kind of like, it's like an interesting. It sets up Gohan having some kind of hidden power, Goku being a dad, and someone.
We didn't even get to the
new
point
villain.
that. Oh no, that's not in this episode.
Yeah.
That he hasn't seen his friends for 5 years.
Yeah.
What, he hasn't?
No, that's
Yeah.
why he's going to go. That's what the reunion is.
Oh.
He's
Yeah.
going to introduce them to Gohan because he hasn't
Oh,
seen
I
them.
remember that.
Yeah, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, it
I
is
mean,
weird.
sometimes, if you move away.
They tried to
if-
bring that
I
back.
He
find
has
it-
a flying cloud.
Hey, if you have
He
a
has no
children,
excuse.
a lot of your
A
friends,
children.
if you have a child,
had a children.
sometimes.
Why
you know-
didn't his friends go visit? Why didn't their
They
friends
probably
come?
didn't know where. Oh no,
Do you see
Bulma
where
knows
they
where
live?
he
They
lives.
live in the middle of
Bulma knows
nowhere.
where he lives, and she
Yeah.
does have access to countless capsules.
Yeah, I
She's
mean,
a
as well.
scientist.
What was that 5 years ago thing that happened? Like some sort of world-ending calamity or something.
It was Piccolo.
Piccolo?
Oh, Piccolo.
Yeah, yeah.
Piccolo, King Piccolo. He's
Oh.
big evil.
Did he
And
like
then-
invade everyone or I don't know.
Did you know Piccolo is only like 4 years older than Gohan?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Piccolo's a kid.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, so what? Is he like illegal then, or I don't know how that works.
He's like a god,
Is it
Type.
Piccolo?
He's like a
a demon. He's a,
slug
demon.
How does that-
demon man.
How does that
Slug
work? Because then
demon.
he fuses with like that old guy
Kami?
later on.
Because
yeah.
they're both They're
So
both
does-
Namekians.
They're both
Yeah.
Namekians.
Namekians.
So
And
does
he
that-
fuses with Nail.
Does
as
that
well.
make him older then? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Oh.
I don't know.
But he gets like a power level. But I feel like Kami didn't really come out on top of that fusion.
Nah,
Right?
he didn't die though. So like is the reason Piccolo fuses with him so that the Dragon Balls still exist? Oh no,
It's to
is
get
that-
No,
stronger,
it's to get
right?
stronger.
Yeah, and then Dende has to bring back the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, and then
But
he
after
also
that-
fuses with Nail to get stronger.
Yeah. After that, it sucks when like you see like Piccolo go up against someone really strong, and you're like, "Don't you dare, Piccolo! We
Yeah.
need them Dragon Balls."
But the best the YouTube one, oh man, the Abridged
Abridged.
Yeah.
does the Namekian fusions the best because he still can hear their voices in his
In his
head.
head.
Oh,
It's
that's cute.
way
He's like,
more interesting.
Wait, I have apps.
Yeah, like that's like a way more interesting way to think of Piccolo's fusions than he just takes their powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like he just kind of, I don't know, gets a bit smarter or something.
Yeah, it's like way
Mm.
more interesting to think that like, they're actually still kind of like living inside him.
I
somehow.
find that like Piccolo in the anime, he gets used more as like just to show how strong his enemies are. Like even in this episode, he comes up against Raditz, and like he was the big bad from the last season, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like it's shown that Raditz is so much more powerful that like even though Piccolo used all his full power, he wasn't able to do a scratch, and he's like actually scared and shaking in his
He
boots.
Yeah.
in this episode he trains Gohan as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
When
I
Goku
remember that so
dies.
clearly. I was like, Piccolo is like
Yeah.
an OG.
He
He's like,
is a better father figure to Gohan.
he's
than
my
Goku.
gunkle.
Gunkle.
Yeah, like
Piccolo is like, despite being that caricature, he
Yeah.
remains like he holds his own throughout the series. Like if they need someone to step into a fight temporarily,
yeah,
he can do it.
yeah,
Piccolo, like, even though he is like becomes like a weaker kind of character, he like throughout the whole series will like step in and fight really intense bad guys for a while so that like Goku and Vegeta, etc., can like rest and get ready to fight again. Like he's always like he's quite good at holding his own.
He's like first reserves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember in
Yeah.
the GVA, I can't remember what it was, the second one of the Dragon Ball trilogy.
Was it the Saiyan saga? Was it the Android sagas that you played?
I
through?
think so. Yeah.
I had that game.
And like Piccolo was super fun because he had the sensory beam cannon and it would like hit a line of enemies.
Yeah, I had that game.
the
That
special
was-
beam cannon.
that was a
Yes.
sick-
The Maka Kansapo.
Oh my god,
Yes.
really cool.
Special beam cannon.
Is that what's it called?
I can't remember.
In Japanese or in English?
Oh, I don't know.
Special beam cannon.
I always thought it
Special
was
beam.
sensu beam.
No,
cannon.
sensu beams are
The
the
beams,
things
the
they
beams.
yeah, the
Yeah,
beams,
it's
the
a
beams.
special. But yeah, that was the first episode. It ends with Raditz flying towards this massive power,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
I was like, it would be so easy to just binge watch like
Yeah,
the episodes
it's
because like
pretty
even though I
easy.
kind of know what happens, it's fun watching it and like seeing
Yeah.
the journey.
it's really easy
it's
to
like
watch.
if you want to watch it fast, like the abridged actually is really good at staying true to like
Really?
the intent,
Yeah,
but
the
then
abridged-
also pointing out the really funny random things.
But
that-
the serious moments are still really
Yes.
like
Really?
when
It
Goku
is
goes
really good.
Super Saiyan for the first time.
Yeah.
It's just as good as when he does it in the
yeah.
dub and like
And the first
Funimation.
episodes are a bit like clunky as you'd expect, but then they get really, really good. Yeah.
You know, if I was like the Dragon Ball Z like IP owners, I'd like try and like not nail down, but like release official like abridged versions.
So Chris
Like,
Sabat, who
yeah.
is like the voice of Vegeta and Yamcha and
Piccolo.
Piccolo, he actually like features in some of their episodes because he
Yeah.
really likes
That's
it.
awesome.
And I think now he's in charge of like the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball's merchandise.
That's awesome.
He does a lot of the
Media.
voice training, doesn't he?
He does.
The voice directing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris
yeah.
Sabat.
It's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, like Goku's voice has been like the one constant in the universe. I
Yeah.
think because
Yeah.
like in almost every dub, it's the same voice. Like Goku's voice that doesn't change.
Like the style.
Well, he's
know
like
the-
the voice actor is the same, right?
Yep.
I'd like to think it is.
So when he's a kid, it's Stephanie Nadolny.
Yeah.
And I think she voices Gohan as well. But I feel like they've never found a voice for Kid Gohan, like little Gohan, that suits him.
Yeah, I think they've used like Gohan's voice for him, like when he gets younger in GT, which we never speak of. which we
I actually almost said instead of watching this, I was gonna say we should watch some GT. Just
God,
I remember the first GT. It's like Emperor Pilaf's in
Pilaf.
there, and I was
Pilaf's
like,
actually in Super.
Yeah, he's in there.
Him,
you mean,
like,
you
the
mean
whole
Baby?
gang.
Baby's in.
Babidi?
No,
No,
Baby.
Baby.
But
Baby's
Pilaf,
right.
Pilaf's actually like they're kind of funny in Super.
Yeah.
They're like the
Yeah,
comedic
they're
relief.
right.
It's
It's
quite-
funny that
they
no one
work-
recognizes them, even
they
though they look the exact
They
same.
work quite well.
kids.
In the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do we want to do any?
GT? I remember just sitting there trying to sit through GT, and it was just the worst.
It
thing.
was like, it was just like, well, you could tell that the original vision behind it wasn't there. It was just
Yeah.
kind of felt a bit aimless. Like,
Yeah. And they gave them all very strangely long chins.
did they?
Yeah.
I like how
No,
Vegeta.
so,
I like
yeah.
how Vegeta grew a beard.
Oh, I love the
His- his hand
the
in
one
it.
thing that redeems that is Vegeta getting like
His big mustache.
like what's the word, like self-conscious about his daughter saying he looks like a geek because of his mustache. My mustache.
Is GT still canon in Super?
No, it
Like-
got retconned. The last episode of Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
and GT got retconned.
Oh, really? So like, what? Like
Redacted.
in the
GT
s-
never happened.
So
It's
like,
fine.
it's not even that. Like, oh, it's like if you go to the end of Super, it goes into GT.
No,
Or-
because they become more powerful than they would
Oh,
ever do.
right.
Because they become Super
Oh, yeah,
Saiyan
'cause
gods.
It's such a weird time skip too because they skip like it's like it skips 5 years into what is it? It skips like
In
10 or 5
GT?
years till the end of Dragon Ball Z, and then
Yeah.
it skips again. So like Goten and Trunks are like 29 or something in GT. Like they're very
because their
grown.
kids, they needed to age up their kids.
And then
to
Goten's just
do
like
that.
this random playboy. Like it's
Yeah.
very
It's
strange.
pretty funny.
Um,
But yeah, that's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have
I used to have
Another
GT.
comment.
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah.
not on GT, but just on this episode.
Yeah.
And that's Chi-Chi. So like first of all,
Her drawing was really weird in this episode.
was it?
Her
I didn't
art?
notice.
Her face was like
Really?
crescent moon shaped.
I
I
didn't
don't
notice
like
that.
this.
Yeah, her
Yeah,
chin
like-
was really different because
Oh.
now she has a rounder face.
Oh well,
She stays like
because
this
she's
for quite a
older as
while.
well, right?
Yeah.
It's like with Goku.
Oh no, Goku and Chi-Chi are the same age.
Oh, but like as they
Oh,
get
but as
older,
Oh, yeah, when they age, yeah.
because your face rounds out as you get older and flatter, which we see in Final Fantasy 13 when you have Hope when he gets older in the sequel 13-2. As a reference that you
13-2.
won't
Did
know
they
about.
call it 13 too?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
You know, Dragon Ball Z apparently was actually just Dragon Ball 2, and someone thought it was a Z.
Really? Well,
That's how the story
That's a
goes.
theory.
that
That's
makes
a-
because like the Z kind of makes it. I don't know. I would
then they have
prefer
the
that
Z
over the
Warriors.
two.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
me
they
too.
start
Yeah.
calling them, as the Z Warriors.
Oh yeah,
More
in
justified.
the narrator guy, he goes, "The Z Warriors are
Yeah.
coming
Dragon
in.
Ball Z.
It's a way to fix it.
needs to clean the bathroom."
Did you have anything to say about what were you going
I
to say about
did.
Chi-Chi?
But before I do that, the Japanese voice actor of Goku has been the same since he was a
Yes.
kid, and now and
Which
then his
I-
kids as well.
is crazy
and
to
she's
me.
like 90 or something.
Yeah.
Like, she's such a trooper.
Which is so crazy that like they use the same voice actor as the kid from adult Goku, which
Yeah.
is because like I just know
I
Goku
feel
as
like it's easier to do that in like Japanese dubs. Like it's more like normative to do that, right? Yeah.
Well, it's like, I think it's just interesting because they went from like the kid voice, and then so they just kept the same kid voice for the adult Goku. Well, I guess he's an alien, so it makes sense in that way.
And he's still like charming,
Yeah.
like kid charming. Okay, so my point was about Chi-Chi, right? So at the end of, well, near the end of Dragon Ball Z, no, it is the end. She's in the World Martial Arts Tournament, which is a big deal.
Oh, does she
Like,
compete?
She competes in the World
gets to
Martial
the
Arts
finals.
Tournament. She gets into the final round, which is against Goku. She only enters because she's mad, because when they were like 13, he promised to marry her, and she never sees him again. So she's really angry, and like she's so thirsty and angry that she freaking gets to the final round of the World Martial Arts Tournament, and then they leave to get married. What he thought was like a food. Marriage was a food. And they get married, and like he's wearing a white suit and everything. But then like after that, she's still very like terrifying and sassy and like.
Oh, so this is
she's a
in
scary
like near the
lady.
end of Dragon Ball.
It's the last episode, I'm pretty sure, of Dragon Ball.
they
Yeah.
get married.
And then yeah, so then she becomes very domesticated though.
Yeah.
And like it's like, so she trains up to be super strong just to get like
Just to get her mans.
which is like good for her. But then like she becomes very domesticated, and that's like when it happens to Videl later on. Like Videl is such a badass.
And
she
then
like saves the town.
she gets with Gohan.
And she's really like this all the time. And then in the new episode, she's like, "Oh, father, oh,
Yeah,
Ken,
she becomes way
Gohan."
more because Chi-Chi still keeps her fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Videl is just like a completely different
Well, the
person.
thing is, like, Chi-Chi, she becomes more of like a shrew, like a mother, like a wifey shrew archetype, and like you see in Everyone Loves Raymond with Deborah.
Man, it's been a hot minute since I saw that.
Remember Marie?
Dog. Coffee.
Everybody loves Raymond. So it's like I was so surprised when I was like, oh, Chi-Chi actually had a character in Dragon Ball. Because in Dragon Ball Z, she just becomes a bit of a nag.
Yeah.
She becomes a bit of a nag, and like sometimes she has like softer moments, like, oh, Goku, but then like she doesn't really like, I don't know, have any hobbies or anything.
But would you be happy if your husband just keeps dying and leaving you with the kids
Did
and,
you
and
know-
no money?
Well, that's the thing.
At one point, they go to resurrect Goku, right? And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay dead and train with King Kai instead of raising my son."
Yeah. Oh my
It's
god.
so messed up.
That must be so
And like every time
traumatizing.
your husband dies, you're not sure if he's gonna like come back
back.
to
Yeah.
life or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like he's going up for a pack of smokes.
And then
it's like-
apparently they never kiss. So.
and then never kiss. I was like, what kind? I'm like so shocked. Like poor Chi-Chi. It's
Well, you know,
like
that's why
Valid.
she's angry all the time.
it's like it's like, you know, you kind of, what if her love language is touch, right? And like she's not getting any
I
of
feel
that.
like
It's
hers is food.
food.
Well,
Well,
no,
she
that's
cooks
how she
food.
shows it. But then how does she
How
does she feel love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's quality time, right? Because she's
Must be
always
quality time.
like
She's angry that
spending
he's not
time with
there.
Goku and
And
everything.
she just wants children.
Yeah,
as well.
apparently.
So she can
What's
train
Speaking
them
of-
to
just
not be
can't
fired.
imagine Goku. He just puts the P into the V, but then he doesn't like
I feel
kiss.
like it's a bit shady. Like, does he even know what's going on?
Like, what are you saying? Is he can't consent
I don't
to this
know.
situation?
I don't know.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like it's a bit like in Big when they.
Oh
when-
my god!
I watched Big a few weeks ago.
What happens in Big?
The 12-year-old becomes Big.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has sex with like a 30-year-old woman
That's upsetting.
who's an exec in the same business that he is.
Yeah.
It's very
And I feel like,
upsetting.
you know, he probably didn't kiss her very much because he wouldn't have known what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's
in
so
that
creepy.
sexual-
That's like the vibe. I'm like,
Mm.
if he doesn't know what kissing is.
It's
But
like, does Goku not know what a 69 is?
do you want to know?
Does that mean that he doesn't go down there? You know, like
Probably not.
Mouth
It's,
present.
I
Oh my
think
gosh.
it's literally just like a business transaction
a business transaction.
for Goku.
But
Does
how does
Goku
he
even
even-
enjoy
How
it?
does he even sustain? I don't know. I shouldn't. I don't know. What is the PG rating of this podcast?
Oh, it's pretty PG. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
Okay.
we're not saying anything explicit.
no,
yeah.
I
think it's just
I
I think it's
to.
just like Chi-Chi's like put a baby in me.
Yeah. No. So do you want to know a fun
I- that-
theory?
I don't
Goku-
get that at all. Like,
Can I,
yeah.
Can I tell you a fun theory?
Yeah.
So people are like, it's so lame that like Goten can turn Super Saiyan so easily without like trying really hard because
Yeah.
he's like 7 when he goes Super Saiyan. But then like you do the math and like the only time that
Oh, yeah.
Goku and Chi-Chi are like in the same space for long, like for to conceive
Enough
a child of his age, is during the 1 week that him and Gohan stay Super Saiyan for a whole week in prep for the Cell
Yes,
games,
that's
and he's
it.
at home the whole time. And so,
He goes on a date in the video game.
Yeah.
that's when Chi-Chi's pelvis would have getting pulverized.
Oh my god! Or it's like
Super Saiyan
if they use like
spoings.
I mean, what man-made protection would be able to withstand Super Saiyan spunk? Like,
The
if you think
diaphragm.
about it, like,
Super
I don't
Saiyan
think so. It would just like it'd be like well, it's
Spunk
like
old Chris.
it would be like
Sorry.
rain
No.
through a sieve. It's just like it's just
My
like
God. And on that note, I guess we'll jump to final thoughts on the episode. April, do you want to do your final thoughts first on just in the episode?
Man, I feel like I've shared a lot
yeah.
of my surrounding thoughts. Hey, it's like an episode that like after you've seen it, you're like, oh, not much happened there, but actually a lot of setting up happens, and it happens in quite like a nice subtle way to introduce you, or like reintroduce those who've watched Dragon Ball to this vastly different series. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was like it felt long, but I didn't mind it. I think because it was like lots of moody setting up. Like it was like setting up the like maybe the Terminator. Like this is a new threat kind of stuff. That was like quite cool. Like it made you want to go see the next episode, see what happens, and you see where all the characters currently are. It's like putting up where the chess pieces are, so that you can like once it like gets really into it, you can be like, oh my gosh, how is it gonna happen?
Yeah, leaves you wanting to find out who Kakarot is. And I've got, I'll take Oliver's thing, an unsung hero.
Yeah.
My unsung hero for this is Yamcha.
Yeah.
Keep your head up high.
He's not in this.
I love Yamcha.
He's not in this episode, but he's not in the
Yamcha-
series.
Yeah.
Yamcha was always my favorite. I was like, because I think I kind of had like a little crush
Speaks
on.
volumes.
I had like a crush on Yamcha as well. I have the
Yamcha,
worst
the
taste.
Space Bandit.
But like,
There's a
Christmas
callback.
song.
Yeah, there's a Christmas song, but there's a callback in Super to him like dying in that hole
Yeah.
when he's playing
oh
baseball.
right, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Oh yeah, I remember. I
You
remember
can
an
buy a
article about that.
Funko. Okay, first of all, you can buy a Funko Pop of him like that.
Yeah.
And second of all, in Japan, there is a giant sculpture statue
Of
of
him in that-
Yamcha
in that
dying
In the
in
crater.
that position.
Oh my god.
Classic.
There's like, because Yamcha was originally supposed to be paired up with Bulma, right?
He is
Yeah.
in Ball, Dragon
And
Ball.
they
they're
make a
together.
lot of in Ball. They make a lot of jokes throughout like Super of like Vegeta and Yamcha's like animosity.
Yeah.
And
Really?
it's quite,
It's quite
funny.
funny.
It's
The
really
one he's like the one that got away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yamcha's like, that one guy in like university that you get with, and then like you kind of like you're in love with him and you want to be with him, but he's like a bit of like a useless guy, and then
Yeah.
like for some reason or other you break up with him, and then like you like I don't know 10 years later you're like, oh, I wonder what happened, and then you realize that he's still like doing the same old thing, and you're like, oh, I dodged a bullet. That's
Yeah.
how I
It's
feel
like
about Yamcha.
Yeah, I think that
An
is what he's like.
unspoken rumor that he like cheated on Bulma.
What?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
With who? Lunch?
Lunch.
Launch?
I can see your lunch. Surely
Yeah.
with Puar.
Oh my god.
I don't know who that is.
That's the cat
That's
you
the little
the
cat
cat.
that he's friends with.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Well,
What's your closing thought?
well, that was it.
Oh,
Whatever I said.
what your
About Yamcha.
No, it was-
My closing thought. Yeah, it was a good episode. It just kind of it sets. I guess like the main question it kind of leaves. I already know though is who is Kakarot. That's what if you hadn't seen this before, you would want to be like, who is this crotch man, and why is he looking for a guy named
So
Kakarot? And does Kakarot also have a crotch, a big crotch?
I hope so. I have a note
Vegeta's
here.
package is always very well drawn.
I have a note here. Swap out power level for like boner. He's got a bigger boner than
Oh
I.
my god!
Your boner is smaller than mine.
Dubs with Dennis.
My boner is much bigger.
My boner is much higher.
Your boner will never measure up to mine.
When we're pulverized, our boner reaches new levels.
Oh my god! So
I need to train to get my boner level up.
thank you for listening, Dex's next episode. We're going to be talking about Sailor Moon, episode 1. A moon star is born. So if you've been listening during the day, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you're listening in the evening, have a good night.
Get
See you
it.
later,
We
Dexters.
didn't do any moves.
Get it, Z Warriors. Should we all
God.
Kamehameha?
D Warriors.
Should we Kamehameha out?
Okay.
Okay, Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Thanks, Dexters.
Thank you,
Thanks,
CEO.
Dexter.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes too.
Dexperience.
Did you go? Dexperience. If you're watching during the day, have a good day.
Dexperience.
Have a good night. Dexperience.
Live your dreams.
Dexperience.
Everything you could want.
Dexperience.
Everything that you need.
Dex.